Believe it or not, it's been a little over 4 years since Nintendo first revealed The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, then began teasing us with beautiful footage and pouring salt on our collective wounds by delaying the game. However, on March 3rd, 2017, the wait will be over, and based on the information Nintendo's been dangling before us like a juicy, juicy slice of bacon, it seems like it'll be worth the wait. I'm Dave Control, and here today on ArcadeCloud, we're going to tell you why you should be as hyped as we are as we count down 9 facts you should know about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 1. The new inventory. Link's inventory in previous Zelda games has always been simple, straightforward, and impossible. Seriously, how does Link hold all that equipment in his tunic? Players would start out with Sword and Shield, A, only to never use them again after finding Sword and Shield, B, then never touching any other sword or shield ever again after attaining the likes of the Master Sword and Hylian Shield. Breath of the Wild adds the most weapons we've ever seen in the Zelda sandbox, everything from standard one-handed swords, to clubs, to battle axes, to spears, and even the severed arm of a Stalfos, all of which can be obtained through treasure chests or prying them from the cold dead hands of your enemies. Except in the case of the Stalfos, where you are prying the cold dead hand itself away. This diverse array of weaponry have unique individual stats that better serve specific playstyles and scenarios. Just be warned, this isn't your older brother's Zelda, more like your younger brother's copy of The Witcher 3. And by that, we mean there is weapon durability, meaning that after you use a weapon long enough, it will break and disappear from your inventory forever, so be sure to save some of the more powerful swords for the bigger life-threatening fights. The diversity doesn't stop at melee weapons. Arrows and bombs get upgrades too, offering different variants that can spice up gameplay. From the looks of it, there will be hundreds of ways you can kick Calamity Ganon's ass. Number 2. Amiibo Support. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will see the implementation of Nintendo's popular Amiibo figures. In 2016, Nintendo released a series of new Amiibo in celebration of the Zelda franchise's 30th anniversary, with each one helping Link out in different, very odd ways. The 8-bit Link Amiibo summons dozens of barrels that fall from the sky. If you're lucky, you may find some rupees hidden inside. The Ocarina of Time Link Amiibo will cause tons of raw animal meat to rain from the sky, gross, while the Wind Waker Link will summon a bunch of fish just waiting to be put out of their misery. Wind Waker's Zelda is the least disturbing, summoning a bunch of vegetables to appear before Link like something out of the Bible. The most interesting and helpful Amiibo interaction comes from the Wolf Link Amiibo that came with The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, which will summon Wolf Link himself to appear in the game world and serve as a sidekick to Human Link that can do anything from attack enemies to find food, very similar to the dog companions found in games like Fallout and Fable. To coincide with the release of Breath of the Wild, Nintendo was kind enough to give Die Hard more pieces of plastic to spend their hard-earned cash on, with figures of Link riding a wild horse, Link using his trusty bow, and one of the mysterious Guardian. What do these new Amiibo do? Please, we're not here to spoil everything. We'll leave that for you to discover. Also, the information wasn't available at the time this video was written, so hey, yeah. Number 3. Wii U vs Nintendo Switch. Back in the mid-2000s, Nintendo was hard at work developing The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the GameCube, a game that faced several delays before Nintendo decided it would be a swan song for the purple lunchbox and a launch title for their little revolution, the Nintendo Wii. History repeats itself yet again with Breath of the Wild, a game that was meant to be the Wii U's saving grace, but became the flowers atop its casket while also serving as a launch title for the Nintendo Switch. Since the Wii U and Nintendo Switch are two different machines from two different generations, the obvious question on everybody's mind is, what are the similarities and differences between the two versions? At E3 2016, Eiji Aonuma assured fans that regardless of which system you played on, you would be getting the exact same experience with no bonus content being made for either version. Additionally, both games will run at 30 FPS despite their difference in hardware and will both be released on the same day, March 3rd, 2017. If you're a resolution connoisseur, you may want to get the Switch version, which runs at 900p, while the Wii U version runs at 720p. It's also been said that there are cleaner and more plentiful audio effects present on the Switch version versus the Wii U version. One more drawback of the Wii U version is that even the physical disc copy of the game will require a 3GB installation on the internal hard drive of the Wii U, or whatever form of storage you use. All in all, not much difference between the two platforms. If you got a Wii U but can't afford or don't want to Switch yet, you can't go wrong with the Wii U version. If you don't have a Wii U, or prone to seizures over a difference of 180p, you better wait in line outside your local games retailers as of a week ago. Number 4. 100% completion will take a long time. Popular YouTuber Gerard Khalil, also known as the Completionist, is known for 100% completing video games within the span of a single week. Shocking, I know. When he had the chance to interview Eiji Aonuma and Shigeru Miyamoto at a Nintendo Switch event, Aonuma shot down Gerard's hopes of conquering the game that fast and made a claim that will take much longer than a week to 100% Breath of the Wild. Aonuma hinted that this is because the game has an insane amount of content that diverges from Link's typical quest to conquer all dungeons, then fight whatever incarnation of Ganon threatens the land. He noted that during the game's development, they started with a vast empty field which they kept adding more and more content to over the course of a few years. In fact, one of the reasons the game kept getting delayed so many times was because the designers kept adding more and more side quests, secrets, and more to the game's sandbox. With that being said, calling this game ambitious is a severe understatement. Number 5. It was created with speedrunners in mind. I said that fast on purpose. Whenever speedrunners attempt to break the world record on Nintendo games, they tend to rely on very odd tactics, whether it's sliding up the endless staircase in reverse in Mario 64 or falling through the Deku Tree on the Chinese version of Ocarina of Time. Nintendo games have never been made with the sport in mind, until now. Remember how we said you could complete Breath of the Wild without completing all of the dungeons? Well, it's possible to complete Breath of the Wild without completing any of the dungeons. Like, you can go straight out of the Shrine of Resurrection and head toward Hyrule Castle to face Calamity Ganon as a novice Link. Eiji Aonuma estimates that the fastest someone can beat the game is about 15 minutes, but be warned, just because you can beat Calamity Ganon right off the bat doesn't mean he's a pushover. Aonuma deduces that the speedrunner will not only have to be quick, but skillful in combat in order to take home that world record. That is, until somebody exploits a glitch that involves Link sliding through a door that triggers the final cutscene. Although, I'll say that I had a chance to play a 20-minute demo of Breath of the Wild and tried running straight to Ganon because of this statement. There were definitely some scripted events you seem to have to wait for and do, so I'm not sure how accurate 15 minutes really is. Number 6. Play like it's 1986. In the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, the player was thrown into the game without any tutorials or sense of direction. While this may seem cruel to modern gamers, this was a means of granting players of old the freedom to explore the world at their own pace, meaning that one player's Zelda experience wouldn't be the same as the other players. It also extended playtime, which was nice for marketing materials. Over time, as the series introduced more rigid stories and more intricate puzzles, the game became a guided, ordered experience. In all of the 3D Zelda games so far, you even have a companion that will pop up to tell you where to go at all points. With Breath of the Wild, things are a bit more open. Unlike recent titles, the game will drop you right into the action from the get-go as you emerge from a cave and into an open world. Much like the original Zelda, and similar to Zelda: Link Between Worlds, it's up to you, the player, to discover the game's various dungeons for yourself at your own pace and leisure. This also means that you can tackle the dungeons in any particular order, and better yet, you can face Calamity Ganon without completing all of them, meaning you can avoid whatever horrendous iteration of the Water Temple Breath of the Wild has in store for us. Although Skyward Swords was alright. Am I the only one who thinks that? Also, like the original Zelda, there are many interactive elements hidden in the overworld that lead to a variety of secret areas that can either reward or punish. Thanks to the powers of exploration and choice, Zelda Breath of the Wild will be one of the most replayable Zelda titles in a long time, allowing for a unique experience with every playthrough you do. Number 7. The Open World. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has come a long way since players experienced the vast patch of nothingness known as Hyrule Field and Ocarina of Time, though, to be fair, it was very impressive for a game made in 1998. Breath of the Wild promises to bring us a world that's not only 10 times the size of the open world found in Twilight Princess, but one that can compete with the modern-day AAA open world experiences like Skyrim. It's more than an open video game environment you have to traverse to get from point A to point B. It's a living, breathing world filled to the brim with trees to chop down, rivers to cross, lakes to fish, rock formations to climb, and Hylian ruins to explore. Despite the post-apocalyptic setting, the world of Hyrule is teeming with wildlife. Link can tame wild horses to be trusty steeds, while birds, boars, and other forms of wildlife can be hunted to provide Link with a nutritious meal. If you're more of an animal lover, you can gather more environmentally friendly ingredients to cook scattered throughout the world. This iteration of Hyrule even contains zones of varying climates that can affect Link, so you may want to bundle up before traversing that blizzard-prone mountainside. With all this taken into account, the open world found in Breath of the Wild is looking to be not just ambitious for a Zelda game, but for a video game as a whole. Also, it's a world that has cast in it. If you don't love the idea of an accordion-playing bird, I cannot help you. Number 8. Full-fledged voice acting. Since there appears to be a a much greater emphasis on story than any other game in the Zelda series, producer Eiji Aonuma decided that it was kind of hard for players to get invested in a story told in blocks of dialogue text. He decided to have every one of the game's many cutscenes be fully voiced by actors, because he wanted the story and characters to elicit an emotional response from the players and leave a lasting impression on them as they progressed. This marks the very first time a mainline Nintendo-made Zelda title has done this. But ArcadeCloud, a random YouTube commenter shouts, what about Navi's irritating in Ocarina of Time and Toon Link's in Wind Waker, huh? Well, excuse me, commenters.
Excuse me!
But they didn't drive the game's overall narrative, alright? As is the purpose of the initiative taken in Breath of the Wild. If jokes about the Legend of Zelda cartoon have you worried, you don't need to be. Link is still a silent protagonist and only ever grunts or yells. This was done to make the player feel more involved in the game's narrative. If Link were to say anything the player disagrees with, the bond between player and character will be lost. Maybe it's for the best. If you've seen the cutscenes for Wand of Gamillion and Faces of Evil, the other times Link spoke, you really don't need to hear anymore.
Great!
Number 9. The backstory. On top of providing some of the most stellar gameplay, the Legend of Zelda series has told some pretty compelling stories since at least A Link to the Past, and Breath of the Wild aims to tell the biggest, most epic story yet. Long ago, the many different races of Hyrule lived together in perfect harmony. Leading this golden age was the Sheikah tribe, a race of badass ninja-like folk whose women are sometimes mistaken for men. Their advanced technology was utilized by all of Hyrule, ensuring an era of prosperity with no end in sight. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation, a monster of unimaginable power named Calamity Ganon attacked the kingdom, spreading a destructive wave of chaos and corruption throughout. A valiant hero in a Peter Pan-inspired tunic rose up to defeat this evil and got his ass handed to him. The Sheikah had a plan B and woke up 4 divine beasts and unleashed a legion of war machines to put an end to Calamity Ganon's reign of terror, a move that terrified the king of Hyrule and his people. Through his unbeatable influence, Calamity Ganon is able to turn these machines and beasts against their former masters. But the Sheikah still had a plan C that would seal Calamity Ganon in Hyrule Castle, which had a divine nature about it capable of containing such an evil, but not forever. After Calamity Ganon is sealed, Princess Zelda and the Sheikah seal their hero in the Shrine of Resurrection deep within the ground. While the worst is averted, Hyrule enters a dark age that prompts the king to banish the Sheikah from Hyrule, which, you know, seems fair considering the Sheikah messed up bad enough to cause the Dark Age and also evicted the king from his own castle. I'd be a bit testy too. 100 years later, the hero awakens just as the seal in Hyrule Castle is about to break. It's up to the hero to traverse the post-apocalyptic kingdom of Hyrule, confront Calamity Ganon, and win this time. And there you have it, devoted Hylians. 9 facts about the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild you should know. Which tidbit has you the most excited? Will you liberate the land of Hyrule on Wii U or Nintendo's Switch? Are there any factoids we missed out on that will heighten the hype? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to slap a like on it. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to smack that subscribe button to be the first to know when new videos will be dropping. Also, be sure to leave us a like on Facebook. Link in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.